She said it without looking at him, her voice sharp like broken glass. "Don't you dare help me, Wind dragged dust across the cracked road as she struggled with the broken wheel of her rusted pickup. Knuckles bleeding, jaw clenched, pride holding her upright when her strength clearly could not. The man stood a few steps back, hat low, boots worn, a small girl peeking out from behind his leg, her fingers clutching. His coat like she was afraid the world might steal him away too. He smiled, not mocking, not smug, but the kind of smile that comes from a man who has already lost everything once and is no longer afraid of another no. "Too late for that, ma'am," he said calmly, already kneeling beside the tire. She spun around, eyes blazing, anger fueled by exhaustion and something far deeper, fear of owing anyone anything ever again. "I didn't ask you," she snapped. He didn't answer. He just worked. And that was what unsettled her most. The quiet confidence, the refusal to be offended. The little girl watching her with wide eyes, like she was witnessing something rare, kindness without conditions. The man's name was Caleb Hart, a widowed ranch hand scraping by on the edge of nowhere, raising his 6-year-old daughter Lily after her mother died in childbirth. He'd learned long ago that the world didn't care how tired you were or how unfair things had been. You either kept going or you disappeared. The woman was Mara Cole, though he wouldn't learn her name until much later. She lived alone in a collapsing farmhouse beyond the ridge, surviving on odd sewing jobs and stubborn pride after her husband abandoned her with nothing but debts and a bad reputation in town. She trusted no one, needed no one, or so she told herself every night when loneliness pressed harder than hunger. As Caleb fixed the tire, Lily wandered closer, offering Mara a shy smile. "Papa always helps people," she said softly, like it was a simple fact of the universe. Mara looked away quickly, throat tightening. People didn't help for free. Not in her experience, not ever. When the tire was fixed, Caleb stood, dusted his hands, and tipped his hat. "Truck'll hold till town. You should get that axle checked, though." "I don't need your advice," Mara replied, but her voice lacked bite now. He nodded once. "Fair enough." He turned to leave, Lily waving goodbye like they were old friends. Mara watched them walk off, something unsettled twisting in her chest. She told herself it was irritation. It wasn't. Days later, a storm hit. Violent, sudden, merciless. Mara's roof finally gave in, rain flooding her kitchen, soaking her blankets, leaving her shaking and sick by dawn. Fever burned through her body, pride finally cracking under the weight of survival. When she stumbled outside for help, there was only one light on in the distance, the Hart Ranch. She stood at the gate for a long time, rain dripping from her hair, debating whether she would rather collapse than knock. Lily opened the door. "Ooh. Papa, it's the lady!" Caleb was there instantly, wrapping a blanket around Mara before she could protest. "Too late for that too," he said gently when she tried to pull away. He didn't ask questions, didn't lecture, just made soup, lit a fire, and set her on the couch while Lily fetched towels with serious dedication. Mara cried that night silently, face turned toward the wall, while Caleb pretended not to notice. For the first time in years, she slept without fear, and that terrified her more than being alone ever had. Before she left the next morning, she tried to thank him. The words came out clumsy. "I don't take charity," she said stiffly. Caleb smiled again. "Good thing I don't give charity. I give help." She left quickly after that, heart pounding. Walls rebuilding themselves brick by brick. But something had changed. She found herself thinking of Lily's laugh, of Caleb's quiet strength, of the way he never tried to own her pain. And that was the most dangerous thing of all. If you're enjoying this story so far, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Stories like this, raw, emotional, and unforgettable, are waiting for you every week. Mara avoided Caleb after that, not out of anger but fear of needing him, fear of what it would mean if she stayed. But fate has a way of ignoring the walls we build. When the town sheriff came knocking about unpaid taxes and threatened to seize her land, it was Caleb who stood beside her in the office, silent but immovable. Lily sitting on the bench, swinging her legs like she belonged there. "She's got time," Caleb said evenly. I'll vouch for it. Mara spun on him later, furious. I told you not to help me. He met her gaze without flinching. And I told you it was already done. The town whispered. Some said Mara was using him. Others said Caleb was a fool. Neither mattered when Lily fell ill that winter, fever raging, and Mara was the one who sat by her bed all night. When Caleb had to ride for medicine through the snow, she sang softly, hands shaking, praying to a God she'd stopped believing in years ago. When Lily woke and whispered, Mama, Mara broke, not because the word hurt, but because it healed something she thought was dead forever. Spring came slow, but it came. Caleb fixed Mara's roof. Mara cooked for the ranch. Lily ran between both homes like they were one. Still, no one spoke the truth out loud. They were all too afraid of ruining it, until the day Mara decided to leave. She packed before dawn, leaving a note that said only, I can't stay where I'm wanted. Caleb found her at the gate again, history repeating itself. You're wrong, he said quietly. You're wanted. You're needed. But more than that, you're chosen. She tried to argue, tried to run, but years of loneliness collapsed under the weight of his honesty. I don't know how to belong, she whispered. He stepped closer. Neither did I, but we can learn. When Lily ran into her arms, laughing, the decision was made without words. The town saw them together after that, not perfect, not polished, but real. A family built not from rescue, but from respect. Mara never stopped being strong. Caleb never stopped being steady. And Lily grew up knowing love didn't need permission. It only needed courage. Years later, when asked how it all began, Mara would smile and say, I told him not to help me. And Caleb would laugh, pulling her close, and I told her it was already too late. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories of love, resilience, and second chances straight to you.